their natural tendency because of the environment. Then because that is still their natural something, later on they evolve, and then maybe they get confused later on, like that. But people who are really strong, they evolve and get their natural something back. I don't know if
Now
you
I
get it.
understand. Yeah. Because I was like confused. I see myself in both sides, and I don't know where to place myself. So at least I get a
You get it
difference.
now.
Yeah.
So don't you think this is the main reason most kids struggle through life?
Struggle. Your brother, your brother, your brother, your brother, family, even your own family, the struggle you have is all because of this kind of thing. They didn't place you properly. And they will be expecting from you to be to behave like other people are behaving, to be okay.
I could say that I'm strongly both-sided. I say there's certain weaknesses on both sides in the sense of left and right, I could be honest with you. But I could say the reason why is like when I was younger, I did mathematics as well. I got involved with, I was doing mathematics, I got into science and stuff like that. I'd always wanted to know about space and stuff like that, the universe, how it was created. So I wanted to know the logical process of how things work through. So with like space and stuff like that, like with like the formulation of stars.
That was only when you were young?
No, this was when I was younger.
What about now?
So now, at the moment in time, I'd say I could say confidently that I am both. The only reason why I say that is because I still go through the understanding of I do think in words, but I can also picture at the same time. I do daydream. That is one thing which I should work on. But I can say that sometimes I can be verbal, sometimes I can be not verbal. Words of songs, I can memorize them. Like tunes of songs, the same. Computing. Like I can say for example, certain aspects. Like for example.
What about intuition?
Intuition, I say, could be needs work.
But for example, I struggle with intuition. I can function, I can recognize it sometimes, but it's difficult for me and left-sided people to know what even intuition is all about. But even though we could still, through understanding you can get it, but it's not natural.
Calm. I hear that. I say. Yeah.
What about arts?
Arts. When I was, let me see. Arts at this moment in time. I could say I am a bit. I've got a lot of arts in me in regards to that. I could say that, but I remember also when I was a child, in regards to arts, I didn't really do a lot of arts. I was more involved with languages.
What about feelings?
Feelings, I say I've been quite. I will be honest with you. I've been quite sensitive with them. I've been highly sensitive. No disrespect on that.
Okay.
But I think that just came from like my own. I think it just came from the animalistic mentality, in a sense. I didn't really learn emotional detachment, so that would probably, you see what I'm saying? Yeah, I can happily say that I am confident.
You are
both
both
sides.
there
Both.
and
I
there.
Could, I could both. I could say both.
Yeah, for me, because I love writing. I know I need to develop myself.
Not draw.
No, not drawing. But writing, I have a passion for writing. Because one thing I've been able to notice about me is
But you like to talk.
I love thinking.
Which means you use words.
Yeah, I love thinking.
So you like thinking.
I love thinking.
Left.
I love thinking.
That is left.
Yeah, and I like meditating. I do a lot of meditation as well. I love meditating as well. And then I value words.
Yeah.
I value words as well.
That is like me.
I value words. I don't joke with words. So if I'm engaged in a conversation, and I'm attentive. I'm always sensitive to the other party, and likewise me, when I'm talking, I'm always careful of my words as well, because I'm very sensitive with words. And but I know I need to work. You know, I told you that I dropped out from secondary school, and since I've dropped out, I've not engaged myself in study. But if I go back to personal development, I know I can, you know, bring everything out. Yeah, bring everything out. But and then
But you know, the best thing is to develop both sides.
yeah, both sides. Yeah, both sides. Then I noticed one thing about me is that I don't like being controlled. And that's the more reason why I've never been engaged in job like being employed. I've always wanted to be my own, you know, my own person.
Logical,
Yeah.
That's logic.
So when with feelings, I think because of my past, because I've
Because of
lived
life experience.
I've been involved in violence, so it's worked on my feelings. Yeah, it's affected my feelings as well. And I could see music there. I like music as well, but not just any music though.
I'm going to go back to the subject where you know, this is part 2. Did you write the part 2? But because we started with changing Africa through divergent thinking, because we went off of the internet a little bit. So please go and share the message, everyone. Share. So what we are doing is changing Africa through divergent thinking, and that means that we are saying we should teach people the difference between divergent thinking and convergent thinking. All right. I will not go back into everything we have said. You have to go and listen to the first part. And now we are talking about how to develop divergent thinking, which is create solutions by asking questions and seeking. And then number 2 is where we are right now. Use the right brain hemisphere, because right brain hemisphere allows you to see pictures and go creativity. So right brain hemisphere, developing it will help you to reason in a more divergent than convergent. Yeah. So all of us need to develop right brain too. I know how it helped me when I started seeing picture. I needed to develop it. So we have just examined left brain and right brain, how that functions. Yes.
So now the people on the right need to also develop the left.
It will be good for them. They need to develop the left. The people on the right. I see most people are on the right. Yeah, but they need to also develop. Because most people on the right, they think thinking is a problem. But for me, I never understand that. Why? Have you ever heard it that people say thinking is difficult? That thinking is the most difficult thing in the world. Have you ever heard of people say that? Yeah. But for me, thinking is just the easiest thing in the world. Is thinking the easiest thing for you? Yeah, because that's another confirmation to you that you are right. Yeah. You are more creative. I mean, you are more creativity, because you know when people say, as even people who might think that, you know, analyzing words and deliberating on words, you know, for example, from one word I can write a book. But for some people, they say, how can that be? It's difficult. But for me, it's just easy. From one word, I can develop, teach, keep on teaching for a whole week. But I've developed it, of course. But that is natural for me. That is the easy part. But the one I had to work on is the picture and the imagination. For example, I cannot just sit down and begin to think of something somewhere. You know, for me, it doesn't work out. You know, or they dream, somebody is thinking of something. It doesn't happen to me. I have to be here and now. So that is the advantage of also developing the right. I mean the left. So the left will help you to be in the here and now. Okay, do you know that people don't sleep, for example, and they are thinking? I don't. I have to force myself to want to think like that.
I think that's when you have some problem troubling you.
No, these people, who are right, they don't need to have problems.
If you don't have problems.
Especially women. Women, I think most of them are right.
Right.
Yeah, they're on the right side.
But not all of it. It means that you are left. If you don't do that naturally, it means you are not left. You are not right. Yeah. Yeah.
So, sir, if you're having a relationship, is it better you get someone who has
Does it benefit you in any way? Yeah, so you're able to balance.
If you are going to be analyzing that to go and choose partner, you have a lot of work to do. First of all, you have to take what do you call X-ray machine to be able to find out. Even your partner might not even know where she belongs.
But of course, she will exhibit these features, and one can tell from.
You that cannot even tell of your own self. You are going to talk about partner. You don't even know your own up to now, even though we have explained.
No, I'm evolving. Of course, I'm knowing. I'm getting to know some of these things. Yes. So, what's your recommendation?
Yeah, I don't have recommendation. He's always asking these questions. Huh? Yeah. You know, there is advantage in everything. If you marry somebody that has like you thinking, it's easier to understand one another. But on the other hand, if you have somebody that has left side like yourself, you can talk the same language. It's easier. So you not struggle too much to be able to understand where you are coming from. But on the other hand, if you are the opposite, then there will be more divergence in looking at life. You will be more enriched. Yeah. But if you have one person who are on the same page with you, you will not see a lot of things in life, and you will be thinking you are seeing it. Mm. So you and her will be thinking that since you are talking the same language, that you are okay, but you are not, because a lot of things are passing by you. But if you marry another person who is another, so you have an advantage. You are seeing one part, she's seeing another part, so you are helping one another. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So which one will you now marry?
You don't want to manage crises. You might want to stick with the convergent
of your own type. He's a Nigerian. He just came from Nigeria. I told you that Nigerians are convergent thinkers.
You misconstrued me. I didn't say I'm going to.
You are a typical Nigerian. Even when you are trying to defend yourself, it's clear that you are Nigerian.
From your point of view, where would you classify me?
You are already classified you. You are left now. Don't you know? I don't even need to classify you. Everybody here will do it for you. You are like me. You are logic.
Yeah. It plays a key role in divergent thinking and the creative problem solving that depends on it.
Yeah, divergent thinking gives you creative thinking because, divergent thinking, especially people who are right-hand side, they are good in creativity. And divergent thinking is all about creativity, creative thinking. So the people who are right-headed, right hemisphere, they have an edge if they want to develop divergent thinking. That's creativity thinking. That is looking for new. They can picture different options. So it will be good also for everybody, even the left side people, to think it, to develop the right side, because it will help them with creativity. Sure, man, something is going through your mind.
It's personal.
You develop yourself.
It's personal.
Just discover yourself.
It's personal.
Yeah. For example, creativity like this. Do you see the shelf?
Lovely.
It's beautiful. I see it as beautiful, but I cannot come up with that personally. I cannot come up with that because I'm left-sided. I will not come up with that. I'm not interested. It's not interesting for me. If I see it is beautiful to me, I want it. But to develop it, to think it through, I'm not excited. It doesn't give me joy to say I thought of, such a thing. But there are some people that can be creating such a thing every day. Sit down and just be drawing and creating things like that. For me, it's not. So divergent thinker, it will help. For example, a divergent thinker, right-sided person, if he develops his own divergent thinking, can come to this room, for example, and because of his divergent thinking, recreate and rearrange this whole place. And they will enjoy doing it, or see different things to do in different ways. But for people like us, we are more straight. We just want to talk or reason or think. We are not too bothered about that. People in the right, in the left. Yeah. Some people like to do design of clothes, drawing clothes and things like that. They are mostly people with the right. So it helps with the divergent thinking too. Thinking outside of the box all the time. England, for example, they call them conservative. That means they are not divergent thinkers. America is more divergent thinker in that side. But England is more convergent thinker. In England up to now they are still using, is it right hand driving or left hand driving? Because they are divergent, they are convergent thinking more. And that's conservative.
Why is that so?
I think it depends. They embrace tradition and conservatism more. That's what I think it depends on their leaders, and their leaders have said that I think they have coin. So those coins is most, king or queen monarchy is more stable. So the way they choose is the way the whole country follows.
So would you?
Yes.
So would you say if roads were made right to left, right? So instead of it being clockwise, so because normally right to left, people would be more right-minded thinking.
No, but for example, in the other countries apart from England.
Yeah, because they drive.
Sorry? No, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, because I was saying, because you mentioned about, because Britain is conservative, so Britain drives on the left-hand side.
That's just one example. But in many other things also they are conservative.
But like, in that sense, but would you say that if they continued going right, they go right to left, would you say that kind of would change people's mentalities, or not change people's mentalities?
Not change people's.
I wouldn't say sorry. Say what you were gonna say.
It will not change people's mentality, but you think it might help. But you see, this thing we are talking about, right, left side, is individual.
Okay.
It doesn't matter what is happening in the country, you will still be your own individual person. Even though the whole country can be like that, but you will still be your own person. Yeah, the policy could be like that, but yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Okay. Divergent thinking is, can we read?
Divergent thinking is spontaneous, free-flowing, non-linear manner. It uses literal, non-traditional, and unconventional thinking.
For example, I'd like to do that, but it is because I developed that. But I developed that through, developing. Everybody can develop themselves, but some people it's natural. If you say the Shias, for example, why should I think about, coming to, call things like that? It doesn't come natural to me. I have to put assignment before myself, a task. If I put a task before myself, I will be able to do the same thing. But some people, they don't need task. They just sit down, they begin to just sketch something and draw. That is the right-sided people.
Creative thinking inspires ideas. Ideas inspire change.
Yeah. So that's why one of the points here is that we should all develop our creative thinking on the right hemisphere.
Number 3, deviate from the standard problem-solving techniques used in schools.
If you want divergent thinking, you have to, be less, follow the less formal way of doing things.
Creative thinking is needed to solve problems. However, we don't really get to use it in the classroom. Instead, linear convergent thinking is required, with multiple choice tests as a great example. This is not how a divergent thinking solves problem, because it is associated with 4 main characteristics. 1, fluency, the ability to generate numerous ideas or solutions quickly. 2, flexibility, the ability to think about different ways to solve a problem at the same time. 3, originality, the ability to generate ideas that most people don't consider.
So,
Beautiful.
This thing you are saying now, is it looking that way or is it looking straight?
It's looking straight. It's looking straight. It's looking straight, but it's painted. The half side of the face is painted with white.
Where is the white? Where do you see the white?
You see the people who are saying both. There are people who are who are
Left-sided.
Left-sided.
Yeah.
Because they don't see what happened.
I can see it. It's a face, but it's painted. It's painted like this.
For me, for example, it's also both.
It's not both. I've done this.
But the truth is that the right-sided people, they know what happened there.
Yeah. It's not both. It's one side. It's facing front, but it's painted.
It's an effect.
To create an illusion of 2 faces.
Yeah. For us, for example, for us who are left-sided, we need facts. Yeah. So why are they saying both? Because they are saying the fact. But you are seeing the process of creativity.
You know why? You know how you know it's facing.
Microphone.
Okay, you know how you know. If somebody looking this way, the eyes can never be full. If you take a picture from this side, the eyes can never be full. Your eyes will be half.
Beautiful.
But it's looking directly to you now. The eyes is full.
Okay.
But if you turn to the side, you cannot get full eyes. You can get only half eyes.
Beautiful.
You understand?
From this side, we're seeing.
If I'm looking at you from here now, I can't see your full eyes. I can only see.
The other side.
But if you turn to
Somebody said like this.
No, you just face front and let him. No,
just straight.
You just move forward, front.
Oh yeah, you're right.
You can't see the full eyes.
You can see the full eyes. Right.
Okay, beautiful. Originality. You see, he could understand that. And not only him, all the people who are right-sided, to them it's easy. Because they are thinking the picture. They are seeing the process of drawing and things like that. But for us, we are seeing facts.
Originality, the ability to generate ideas that most people don't consider.
Yeah.
Elaboration, the ability to not only think through the fine points of an idea, but to carry it out as well.
But that is now not natural for anybody. You all have to develop that.
Number 4, learn how to think and meditate.
Okay, think and meditate also. This is something that, this is now the left side, that they now have to, this one now they have to also, learn it.
Children must be taught how to think, not what to think. By Margaret Mead. Explore the ways you learn and then create new patterns.
Yeah, that's very important. Learn the way you learn. I mean, yes.
When you're done, think about them. For those ideas that are more theoretical, figure out how you can connect them to your life experiences and what you've learned from experiments you've conducted in the past. Before you speak, think. T, is it true? H, is it helpful? I, is it inspiring? N, is it necessary? K, is it kind?
This is now thinking. This is more challenging for people who are right-sided. But people who are left-sided, these are the kind of thing they like. It's not picture, it's not creativity, it's thinking. That's what left-sided people like.
Number 5, force yourself to see with unusual points of view. Do this even if it seems silly.
Yeah, this is convergent. This is a divergent thinking.
For instance, imagine life as a banquet table and you as one of the dishes. Now evaluate the table through several points of view of the diners.
Okay, like this kind of example, for example, is perfectly for the right-hand side people. For people like left-sided people, it's tough. It's like rubbish. Huh? It's like it's impossible. It's like what is saying rubbish, something not logical. This is not logical for someone who is left-sided. But someone who is right-sided, this could be a possibility. Okay.
Number 1, what will they expect to see on that table? Number 2, what will disappoint them if not included? Number 3, is there anything lying on the table that's absurd like a blow dryer? Number 4, how can you make the arrangement more appetizing, and what can you add to make it unappealing? Number 5, by challenging your imagination, your brain gets used to new thinking patterns, and creating fresh ideas will become easier. Number 6, learn how to ask questions. Divergent thinking is not so much about finding answers as it is about asking the questions to get those answers.
Yes, always asking questions. That is divergent thinking.
Asking the right questions will get you what you're seeking. The challenge, though, is to figure out the questions to ask.
Like the boy, the pastor that was here, the young man that was here the other day, he was saying, okay, asking questions, that is just an instrument, or that is just, an instrument. It's not the goal. But when you're thinking convergent thinking, you don't say it is just a means. Because if it's an instrument, you can just use it once in a while. But when we're talking about divergent thinking, it is a lifestyle. It is something you must do. You have to incorporate in yourself to be doing at all times. Just asking questions, questioning everything.
Number 1, the more you formulate specific questions that delve into the differences, the better your chance of succeeding. Number 2, simplify complicated matter by breaking it down into pieces. Then expose each one by asking, what if?
You see, the problem with Nigerian Christianity is that we don't even recognize the things about divergent thinking at all. We have received the gospel the way somebody is doing it. We see, we copy, we just stay there. We're just doing church the same old way. Everybody in the whole country is doing. No, they are not using divergent thinking. And if they want to use divergent thinking, they are going to do like the one in, is it Kosa they call it? They are going to wear 5 suits or $10,000, $1,000, put air conditioning. Is that divergent? We are talking about divergent, the gospel, the method, the things, and you are talking about physical things they are only talking about.
Number 7, brainstorm for ideas.
Oh, we might have practical exercise here.
This technique is a tool that builds upon ideas.
Okay.
One idea generates another idea, which then generates another idea, and so on until a list of random ideas is compiled in a creative, unstructured manner.
That is brainstorming. You people know what brainstorming is. Although somebody told me recently that they don't longer call it brainstorming in England.
Yes, I don't know.
That they are now calling it something else.
Is that?
Huh? Mind
mapping.
Mind map.
There's another name.
There is
I
another
can't
thing.
remember
Yeah,
the
there
name
is
because I
another
remember
name.
one day I used the word in the office, brainstorm, and they said, no,
you don't use
we
it.
don't use brainstorming here anymore.
Yeah, they call it something else now. I forgot. Huh? What?
Mind map, yeah.
What do you say?
Blue skies thinking.
Blue skies keep thinking.
Is it blue skies thinking?
Yeah.
Because from what I
Blue sky thinking. Okay.
When
But we are still using, in my own house here, we are still using brainstorming. Okay.
When brainstorming in a group atmosphere, allow everyone to think more freely. Don't pursue a practical solution. Gather ideas that have the slightest relevance to the problem itself.
Yep. Go ahead.
No idea is criticized, and all ideas are recorded.
Yeah,
Number
they're all
2,
welcome.
after a long list of ideas is generated, one can go back and review the ideas to critique their value or merit. Keep a journal. Using a journal enables you to capture and record the spontaneous ideas that people can have during unusual times and places. One member of the brainstorming team can be assigned to write down those ideas.
See all this kind of drawing, for example. For me, these are just rubbish. They don't make any sense. This one, for example, it's just like a little baby that is playing with color something. That's what you like to do? You like to do this? It means you are right-sided. Thought showers. Because it's difficult for me to navigate this one. It's difficult for me to be able to.
Like in my former company, when you have like executive gathers to have meeting to find like a solution to a corporate issue, they have people with whiteboards over everywhere. As you're speaking now, somebody is drawing your thoughts on the board instantly. They're drawing it and gather it at the end of the day, and from the picture, they'll be able to draw out ideas.
But for me, I need to take notes.
Yeah.
For right-sided people, those pictures you are drawing, you can draw it or you can give me, but I will not look. It is the notes, the points that I take, that is more relevant than those pictures. That is the difference between the right and the left. Okay?
Then later on, that journal can become a source book of ideas that can be developed and organized. Then the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain on tablets, that he may run who read it. Habakkuk 2 verse 2. Write freely, number 9.
Now, this one now is also left.
Yeah. Focus on one specific topic and continue to write about it for a short period of time.
Do you know there are some people, in somebody I saw in the church, he will be taking notes, just like you people are taking notes now, point by point. And under every point, he will be drawing something like this. You know there are people like that. They will be taking notes and then drawing something. With the pen, oh. Every point we have a different diagram. It's almost like they are doing animation.
Write down everything that comes to mind as long as it is about the topic. Don't worry about punctuation or grammar, just write. Your mind is for having ideas, not holding them. Wow.
I would rather say a different way now. Your mind is for creating ideas, not storing them.
Write down every single idea. You can organize, correct, and revise your content later. The purpose is to take a topic and then come up with several different thoughts about it within a short period of time. Number 10, create a subject or mind mapping visual.
You see, this is mind mapping. This is mind mapping. This is different from brainstorming.
Yeah.
It's different. This is mind mapping. But this mind mapping thing, for me, it is just like, it's nothing. It's just like, doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. The other word I think is
You like it,
thought
eh?
showers.
No? I can't read it. Sorry?
No, I mean the other word for brainstorming, thought showers. This is slightly different from the word that was used to
Thought
replace
showers?
Thought showers. Yeah.
Thought showers.
Thought
yeah.
showers.
But what about this one?
This is brain mapping.
Brain mapping.
Yeah.
So you like this kind of thing?
Ah. It's
I'm thinking, how can a human being like this kind of thing? Huh? You like it? No. Of course, you are right. You are left then. You are left-sided.
It makes a lot of sense.
There is no way. If you are right-sided, you will like it.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
I visualize things.
It makes sense?
But not on
No.
my brain.
In your brain, that means you are right. You are
I
left-sided.
have all my plans. in
That
my
is the
brain.
difference. If you are having it in your brain, that means you are left.
Now I know.
Yes. What about you?
For me,
Yes. You prefer like this or just to have it in your thinking in your mind?
most times I have in my mind.
That means you are left.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Sometimes left features, sometimes right. So that's
But for people who are really right,
Right.
they understand, they like this kind of thing.
Sense. Perfect.
It makes sense.
It makes sense.
This makes sense to you? Julie, this makes sense to you?
ease of understanding.
Julie, this is easy for understanding.
It's easy.
Yeah, I know that peace is right as I did.
Yeah.
I just, even though she has not spoken, but I know that this will be easier for her to understand. This is easier for you to understand? She say yes. And they are surprised, right? It's not, for us, it's not easy to understand. This is, it makes no sense.
Yes, then just it makes perfect sense. In your home, don't use energy. Electricity. Use
Anybody that is this way is comfortable with, that is just a proof to you that you are right
Okay, good.
minded. Yeah. But if this is nonsense to you, you don't understand anything, it means that you are left. That is a good exercise right here. Okay. You see, he's enjoying it. He's enjoying that. What about you? No, it's rubbish. It's like crazy. And I can tell that Shioma also, this is no go.
I just told him, if I get this, it will be in the trash.
Yeah, it will be in the trash. If you send it to me, it will be in the trash too. Tony, what about you? No, yeah, because I think you are left. Yeah. Okay, it's headache. Yeah. For us, this one is complicating life.
Okay.
Will you read it?
Put the brainstorming ideas in the form of a visual map or picture. Make sure the visuals show the relationships among the ideas. For instance, your topic may be how to start a business.
You know, this one, for example, is good for us.
Yeah.
For left-sided too. Because this one is clear, is explained. And it's clear, it's separated.
Yeah, words.
Yeah, words. Yeah? You agree with this? When it's explanatory with words, that's what we like.
And for me, what is more attractive to me is the boxes.
Yes?
The boxes and the different colors.
No!
Yeah, that's what is more
No! You are not serious.
Yeah, that's what I see before the word.
That's what you see?
Yeah.
What about the box? Why is it?
Why is it interesting?
Yeah, because you can see that on this left side you have the same size boxes, rectangles, all on the same line, kind of, on this side. And you see from the circle, 2 lines are going out to meet 2 boxes, which go out to meet 2 other boxes.
We are not even seeing those lines.
That's what I'm seeing. Even before I read the words, that is what I have seen. It's
You are seeing this one?
everything is just.
Okay, tell me what you are seeing from the beginning. Once you just see this thing.
I think you have a source. From the source, you have branching out to
Where
2
is the source?
the circle.
Okay.
Then branching out to have 2 sub-sources. Then from those
Where are
2
the sub-sources?
the pink, the green. Then those to have it just makes it very easy for me to understand.
Hey.
Yeah, very easy. Very, very
What
easy.
makes it easy?
How do I explain it?
You said they are square. What were you saying?
The rectangle boxes. You just have 2 whites, 5 green. On this side, you have 2 oranges, 5 blue on this side.
So that makes sense to you?
Yeah, because
but for me, it will not make any sense until I read.
Until I start from here.
Yes.
To read what they're writing.
I have to read what is there.
yeah.
Yes? Yes. It is only when I begin to read and I understand that it makes sense.
It makes sense to me.
For me, if the picture doesn't make sense to me, it's
The
very
words will not-
difficult for me to
Hey.
understand, even with the words, for me to understand what's going on.
Peace is agreeing with you.
Yeah.
And Julie. Wow. You see, it's so these things are easier. They make it easy for us.
Difference is at work.
We are
Law
used
of
to
difference. Law of difference.
Law of difference, yes. The book Law of Difference. Okay.
Make sure the visuals show the relationships among the ideas. For instance, your topic may be how to start a business.
You want us to read what is inside?
Okay, let me read it from my screen here. So the first one is risk management. From risk management to your right side, you get risk identification and risk qualification. The risk identification branches.
Now it's making sense when you are reading it. But before then, nothing made sense. Okay.
Risk identification branches out to group effect and group effort. Then risk qualification branches out to expected monetary value, statistical sums, decision trees, simulation, and expert judgment. Then to your left, risk management branches out to risk response control and risk response development. Risk response control branches out to workarounds, unplanned responses. Please make it bold.
Yeah, don't worry. But, you know, this is just an example. We just got the point we're making is that, but we just brought this out for the right-handed people. Okay.
Okay, number 1. Write, start a business in the middle of a piece of paper and draw a circle around it.
Okay, like you saw here.
Yeah.
Okay.
2, let's say you have come up with 4
Now,
subtopics.
this is what makes sense to us.
We can analyze.
Yes, analyze. This is what makes sense.
And this is less.
It's less interesting to
less
you people.
interesting.
Wow. Okay.
Let's say, number 2, let's say you have come up with 4 subtopics that include products, services, funding, market, and employees. 3, therefore, draw 4 lines, 1 for each subtopic, from the circle that contains your main topic. Your drawing will now look like a child's drawing on the sun, of the sun. Number 4, at the end of each of those 4 lines, draw a circle. Write one of the 4 subtopics, products or services, funding, market, and employees in each of those smaller circles. Number 5, let's say that within each of those subtopics, you have generated 2 subtopics. For instance, with products, services, your thought of dresses and shoes, and with funding, you came up with loan and savings. 6, so draw 2 lines from each of the subtopic circles, creating what looks like mini suns with 2 rays. Number 7, at the end of each line or ray, draw a smaller circle and write those subtopics in each. For example, from this products or services subtopic, write dresses in one subtopic, circles, and shoes in the other. From the funding subtopic, write loan in one subtopic, circle, and savings in the other circle. Number 8, once completed, this map can be used to further develop the topic. This includes both divergent and convergent thinking.
Look at the guy that is drawing. So you like to do that kind of thing?
As I was reading it now, I was already drawing the picture in my head.
Are you serious? As you are reading?
The circle,
At
the
the same
sub
time?
circle, the sub circle.
I don't even draw anything. I'm just understanding it, that's all. Look at the guy.
Yeah.
So for some people, this is interesting, what he's doing. When I see people doing this, I think they're just wanting to play childish.
Number 11, arrange your ideas in an innovative manner. Be innovative. To acquire the best result, you will need to apply both divergent thinking and convergent thinking. They both play an important role in the process. Convergent and divergent thinking. Convergent thinking acts on solutions with inward facts, and divergent thinking stimulus with outward ideas. The whole brain.
Both right and left.
Yeah. Divergent thinking will supply the creativity. Convergent thinking will analyze and evaluate those creative ideas and narrow them down. Facilitate the conversation. Divergent thinking identify issues, strategy, and planning, while convergent thinking do risk-reward evaluation, decision-making, project management. Possibilities, project, results.
So the divergent thinking is the hunter.
Yeah.
And the convergent thinking is the farmer. It's working on the same ground. But the divergent is going out. Is that understandable?
Yeah, makes sense. Creative thinking is not a talent. It is a skill that can be learned. It empowers people by adding strength to their natural abilities, which improves teamwork, productivity, and where appropriate, profits, by Edward De Bono.
Ooh, I hope this was not too complicated today, no?
This was good.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay, now the question to all of you is, how can divergent thinking help Africa? You have to answer. In case she was. No?
I think understanding understanding how people's brains are. So, for example, if they're right-sided or left-sided, you can then develop and understand how they could maybe move
function.
Forward. Yeah, function and like also have the strengths. But you could also do, you could also teach it in the education. So you could actually go through schools, tell them the process, start off at a young age and stuff like that. So
but the right-sided and the left-sided is just one point in divergent thinking now. But the divergent thinking as a whole, how can it help, to change Africa?
I think for me, I'm looking at it this way. I think it will help people easily identify their purpose. Because I believe that the gift you have.
Okay, so what is divergent thinking?
Divergent thinking is using your creativity to look for ideas that you don't readily have, because you identify that the idea might be with other people. So you kind of like.
So how can that help develop Africa?
Yeah, like what you said initially when you started, we can actually look to other countries and look, for example, list out all the problems you have in your country.
Yeah.
Look at the list and identify the problems you think you have the ability to solve, eliminate those, and the ones you know you don't have the ability, you go outside within your reach to identify those who have the skills, irrespective of whether they are blacks, whites, Asians, or whatever. Identify them, and even if, like Nigerians, like we are prideful people, even if you don't want to bring them into the country to work, send your people out to learn
and bring the expertise.
And bring them and train them, bring the expertise back, but make sure that when they are coming back, there's a secured, good paying job for them. And because I discussed with foreigners a lot when I was in university, and I was asking some of the Chinese guys, because I discovered that out of every 10 Chinese that come to London to study, about 7 or 8 goes back to China. They don't stay. But the Indians would rather stay in London than go. So I was asking, why is it that when you come, majority of you go back? And he was like, what will I be doing here? Because number one, the government paid for his education, and he has a secured job waiting for him when he comes back. So that's a way of like investing in the country. You're sending people out like spies to go and learn the technology, mix with the best, get the best ideas, but bring it back to your country and put it back to your country. So I think that will help us. That will help us. But my original thought was, if we start from like what Brad Vitaly said, if we start from the youth and know that there's just not one way of learning, and begin to help our toddlers, our youth, to learn in their own unique way, to identify themselves and build their strength, then they could go up. Like you talk of innovation, for example, an invention, a 9-year-old boy building a radio stadium. If the parents knew that this is who the child is, they begin to work towards that aspect and encouraging him, rather than telling the child, oh, like when I was growing up, I loved drawing a lot, and I was breaking parts from like VCRs, remote controls, building things together. But my dad would just come, just kick it, go and read. He would even take the book and just like, what are you doing, messing around? Go and read. And I would be there, okay, I want to read and study. It looks like messing around to him. So if our parents know these things, they'll be able to identify the uniqueness in their children and begin to work with them. And you see people with talent in different areas, and those people will go on to become inventors, creators. But in Nigeria in particular, we've killed creativity completely in kids, because they just believe that if you don't know how to read, you must read. You must come out with come first in your class or second in your class. Oh, if you finish from school after the examination, what was your mark? If you are not first, if you are not second, it means you are a dullard. But if we understand these things, especially our parents, it will go a long way. In the next 10, 15 years, you begin to see a lot of people with, you understand, creative ideas coming out.
Yes.
I basically want to say the same thing as Chris was saying, but then in my own way.
Divergent thinking. How can you develop Africa?
So what I understand is that divergent thinking is thinking, seeking the solutions outside, and at the beginning of
new ways,
creative solutions, right? And in Nigeria, they think that they already have the solution, or they know
there's self-sufficient.
Yeah, there's some kind of pride in their
just
their esteem.
Confidence, too much confidence.
Too much confidence.
Arrogance.
And it makes me think about something someone once said to me, that the problem with someone who is singing false, the problem with somebody who's singing false is the fact that he doesn't know that he's singing false. And I think that that's the problem with Nigeria, that they think they have it all, they think they're rich, they think they have the solutions, but the fact is they don't have it. So, enlightenment about these things.
The churches also think we got everything. There is nothing more.
Yeah, and that's because they don't seek outside. And I think that the Africans, and in this case Nigerians, they need to humble themselves and just seek for solutions.
Can you imagine that most Africans, they are angry, most Nigerians are angry that people always ask for expertise for white people. They say they're always complaining. We have our own people. Why are you giving to white people? Why are you giving to expertise? We have Nigeria, only discrimination. Why is it that they don't give contract to our people? But they will give contract to them. They'll mess it up.
And that's true, because most times they receive these contracts, they are unable to do it. And then they can't even account for the resources that were given to them. At the end of the day,
Nigeria. So we need this divergent thinking.
We do need divergent thinking, even from the lowest level of education
school.
From even pre-primary school. Because it's actually like most European countries, that's where they start training the kids. The first few years, they put them in the general class. Then watch them as they involve in play activities and depending on any other kind of system they are using. Then pick up the strengths of each student and use it to train them. And if there are weaknesses, now to know which area to model the educational system that is being given to them.
God help us.
Yes.
You know, when we were small, I don't know if you people remember, they used to do something similar to that. The people who are capable, they used to have some schools like for juniors.
Exactly.
Something like that.
Yeah, and then the other ones we are giving trade training.
Yeah.
Like carpentry, mechanic, and those kind of things. That's why we have trade schools those days. So all these things can be brought back because it helps to focus resources in the different areas of needs.
I want to say divergent thinking will help Africa, especially Nigeria, because what I understand from the Nigerian perspective is that they are just used to one pattern.
Yeah.
And they don't want to change. Even when they send people to go learn, you know, and the people come with those new creative ideas and new modernized, they will still come back and you will see people, intellectual people, will say, no, this is not the way we do it.
Yeah,
and so this is our pattern. This is the way we have been doing it. And this is even from Awolowo, from this, we've not been doing it this way, it's not acceptable, this is the way. They are not ready to change, they are not ready to accept the new inventions. And the tradition is now worsening it. Everybody wants to believe this is the way our fathers did it. So if we can start from the kindergarten to teach these things, so that the teachers themselves will begin to bring out the talent in each child and know where they are going, direct them. You see that you will see a musician that is talented in music because the parents don't like the idea of my child this music, something is not good. He will go and read medicine and at the end of the day end up killing people in the hospital. You know, so if we can, you know, put this in our system, like what I learned today, I used to see people that think from their left as if they don't understand life.
Okay.
Yes. I see as if they don't understand life. I see it different. I would be one. Why are you thinking this way?
Okay.
You know, so I didn't understand it. So the more we
and we that were using left, we are thinking like, why are you thinking that way?
So if we can have a system that you understand first where a child is going and begin to give that child counseling, you know, and bring out the best in each child in the society, Nigeria will do well. Beautiful. Yeah.
God help us. I say God help us, but we need to help ourselves. But I just don't.
Just like exclamation.
Yes, exclamation. Yeah.
Mine is a question. What is the essence of English language we do in school? Mathematics, Igbo, or whatever, repeating the same thing again. If we should entirely change the whole curriculum with all these things, I think we're going to have a whole lot of diversities, and
we will recreate.
We will recreate. They might not. English might be optional if you want to choose it. You can express yourself in your language, different language, the way you want it. So most of this language we are used to.
just have the same subject.
Yes, every time even the agricultural science, we don't even plant. What did I do with it? I read it and I passed and I came out in secondary school. Some of these things we've been doing, this routine.
But these are practical things.
Yeah, this routine. I think we should remove some of them, make it not even compulsory, optional if you want to.
But this kind of subject,
these are the ones.
Thinking,
yes,
all these things.
That's just what I'm thinking.
Paul, you missed out.
So I'm of the opinion that Nigerians don't make they don't just make noise. It's not empty. We are not empty barriers. Do you understand? We have what it takes. Yes. Because when we start talking about divergent thinking, we also should understand that we engage in convergent thinking, in the sense that I've lost my line of thought. I'm trying to get it back.
That Nigerians have what it takes. You are trying to.
Yes, it's just that there's no equity. Do you understand? If everybody is given the opportunity, the same access, the same privileges, the same opportunity, if there's no corruption, because for instance, when you have to award a contract now, and someone who is more qualified comes, but because it doesn't have voice, or is not connected, and is not given the privilege to step on that platform. So there are a lot of people who can really perform, who are qualified, who have.
This is exactly what Nigerians are saying. Do you know that right now in Nigeria itself, everybody is now against diasporas, because they are saying the government now, they are bringing people back from overseas, so to come and take over the thing. No, but they are saying, what about we? We have what it takes. It's that convergent. That convergent thinking is killing us. But we are not even talking about white people now.
I'm a fellow black.
I'm talking about Nigerians who are coming from abroad. They are saying, why should they come? Let them stay there.
They will not even give you any job.
You see?
Yeah. Because we are not in Nigeria.
Yeah.
That's why we change
Yeah.
our mindset.
Talk about,
if we are still in Nigeria, we will still be saying
exactly.
We'll be saying the same
exactly.
thing.
I just want to say something to talk about. The truth of the matter is, you can only understand. People can only understand when they've experienced both sides. Yeah. And I'll say this. I went to university in Nigeria. I also schooled overseas, right? And I've compared the two. You can't compare, number one. Number two, I mean the quality of teaching and the quality of information you get with the teaching, right? Then number two, I traveled back to the university I went to, that I graduated from in Nigeria. Do you know that they are still teaching them the same thing they taught me, with the same textbook they taught me? No, I mean, my two of my friends.
How many years later?
About 10 years later. Two of my friends are lecturers. Two of my friends are lecturers, and I went to their office, and I was talking to them. Can you show me the textbook you use? You know, it was the same handout that we used 10 years ago. In University of Benin today, they are still studying vacuum tube as physics and engineering courses, when the world has even gone beyond what's it called, ICL or circuit unit or whatever. The world is talking you're talking of a decentralized app now. They are still teaching them vacuum app. Now, most of the people you see that are creative, like you go to Yaba College of Technology and you see these people, they are beginning to form their own Silicon Valley. Where do they get the information from? From the internet.
Exactly.
Not from the school. Yeah.
You don't have to limit yourself to where you get from the university. You don't have to limit yourself to what you learn or get from your university. For crying out loud, you have access to the internet. So if your lecturer is teaching you from a textbook that he used several years ago, what stops you from accessing the information from online, from the internet, to upgrade? Of course, there are people that didn't even step into the four walls of our institution, and they are doing great things. So that shouldn't be a limitation in any way.
Okay, but my question is, now we have such people in our system. Why have they not produced? Why have they not brought the change?
Where's the result?
Because they were not given the opportunity to do so.
How?
They never got the platform.
The 9-year-old guy that brought the radio station, did they give him the opportunity?
proof of, if you say you know, the proof is your result. Nigerians are not producing any results.
I don't know how you are defending this. First of all,
but you know, one thing you have to know is that you might be looking at Tokwe now as the minority, but that minority is only in this hall, in this room.
Mm-hmm.
But in Nigeria, that you get ready, he is even modest. Majority of people will fight you. They will be talking like him like this, and you will be the majority. You will not even be able to open your mouth because they will be aggressive. They will come down at you. But to us, it's weird that somebody is thinking like this.
Yes, he's contradicted himself because he said, first of all, that the opportunities are not equal. They don't, the opportunities are not equal, are not there. And then you said that what is stopping people from going on the internet? Do you know that there are lots of people who don't have access? But they can't. But you can, how can they? Accessing information is an opportunity. Internet is not available in every home in Nigeria. How can you not? You know that. Even Dr. Sunday's program, there are many people that cannot watch it. We're looking for ways to get that to them. So you see on the one hand that people are not given opportunity at the top when they want the job, but you cannot see that there is no internet access to people that even want the education. There is no electricity. Even if the internet is working, electricity is not available. So how can that happen? It's not. It doesn't work. Just look at it logically.
No, because it's.
You are saying he has to be realistic. He is thinking we are all not realistic. And he's not the only one thinking like that. The whole of Nigeria is thinking like him.
See, getting a formal education, right? You need a lot of factors. Now, I do a lot of self-learning, like learning of programming language, for example. I teach myself to program in maybe Python and all that stuff. It's different when you are in a classroom with a professor who knows this stuff, who has, like, for example, the school I went to, you see, like, this it's the same school, like, maybe people like Thomas Edison and all those people go to. You see their work displayed there, this history and everything. And you are able to ask questions, right? Somebody is able to sit down, a lecturer will sit down with you for 1-2 hours and be explaining the science behind the science that you're learning. But when you're doing it online, all you see is just the result. It's just the information you're just getting. But how? For example, you see programming language. You say, write this, and this will give you this. But what is it behind that programming language that is making that logic to flow that way? You don't understand. And that is where coming up with producing products comes from. You need to understand the basis, not just the results. That's what we're talking of, the process and the outcome. We are just looking, the online training is just looking for the outcome. But you need to sit down with somebody that will tell you the process of that outcome, which we don't have. And that's
you see, I was telling you that Nigeria is convergent thinking. Yes. And that is okay, go ahead and make your point.
Yeah, I was going to say that instead of expecting expatriates to come into the country, how about sending people out? That's a kind of divergent thinking.
Nigerians who are diaspora, people are not allowing them. People are criticizing. They are saying you are not giving jobs to the ones on the ground. You know that.
Yeah.
Yes. Everybody knows that.
So, for instance, about 3-4 years ago, people used to come from Nigeria outside for training purposes. Yeah. Now it's stopped. It's cancelled.
Why?
It's never. He knows. They don't want to spend money for people to go out. And even when you want to bring trainers back to Nigeria to train them in Nigeria, they don't want it also. More especially with this present administration. So this is the problem. I remember also one of the ex-presidents canceling the information arm in all the embassies of Nigeria. He stopped that, the information section of the embassies of Nigeria, in all the consulates all over the world. All their jobs were cancelled.
Because that is not convergent. They are self-sufficient in their mind. They don't need anybody from anywhere. Can you imagine that my friends who are listening to me on this platform, but who are based in Nigeria, I tell them that they are always complaining. They say, our government is doing this one. Why should they be giving contracts to foreigners? It's just because of the white skin. I said it's not the white skin. These white skin people, and this was saying the same thing. No, Nigerians are better. They are Nigerians are better. I say,
better at what? I don't understand. Better at what? Okay, I just want to.
So those white people, is it because of the skin that their countries are like that? And Nigeria, they will tell you that it's because of their skin. Nigerians just like white skin people. That's why they are not giving to their people. It's because these people know how to work. They know what they are talking about.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand.
And you shouldn't, make this a subjective discussion with Tokwe. It's not Tokwe. This is our own country right there. He's just a real patriotic Nigerian. But he's looking at us as if we are not patriotic. You used to be like that? Are you serious? How long have you been living outside?
About 6 years. 7 years.
Okay.
Yeah, 7 years. 7 years. Not so long I changed my mentality. I don't believe. I said, what can we not do?
Okay.
Yes. It's just.
Do you know that if you go right now, if you used to go to a church in Nigeria, let's say you used to go to Redeem, they will now say that you are the one who has backslidden. Yeah. If they listen to you now, or whatever church, if it is Christ Embassy or Redeemed or something, they will say you have left God even.
Yeah. But the good thing, but the good thing that's happened to me when it comes to church, I was going to the white churches. I didn't go to any black.
You now go to Nigeria, I'm saying, and go to the church you used to go to. When the time they listen to you 5 minutes and you disagree like this, she traveled. That's the explanation. We need to pray for her. We need to pray for her. She has traveled, so that's what they think, For example, I was talking about, they were, people are, even yesterday, people are writing me, come here now and show us. Come here now and show us. You people are sitting out there and talking. You can only talk from there because you don't know what is out. I hear that all the time. They think you are just talking.
It's sad.
This is not government, though. These are even ordinary, our own relative, Papa. Our own, even ordinary people. It's like the whole country has just been conditioned to think the same way.
Because even the technology we are talking about now, do we even know the science behind the technology, or behind this the technology? We are using we are talking of internet,
Facebook.
We are talking of GSM, smartphone, television. All
they don't care. They just have the product.
Do we really?
Nigerians are only interested in the answers.
Do we know the science behind it?
It's answer they want, not procedure. Okay, you are saying our Nigerians have what it takes. Nigerians have what it takes. Then why have you not built a better country? Your product, your fruit, by your fruit we shall know.
No, they keep saying that. They keep using the excuse that Nigeria is corrupt. Nigeria is corrupt. Do you know that there's corruption in developed nations? Russia, for example, is a corrupt country. But look at what they are doing. You understand?
But the difference is in Nigeria.
India is very corrupt.
Yeah.
Look at what India is doing. They are developing.
But the difference is that in Nigeria, corruption is the order of the day.
It's the same thing in some of these countries.
Yeah, but our convergent, we are too proud. We are arrogant. We don't even want to recognize that some people are better than us. You know, Nigerians don't believe that anybody is better than them. There is an advantage in that. But sometimes when the whole country is thinking like that, it could become a minus. And I believe that Nigerians are the best people in the world. Believe me. Don't misunderstand me. I believe Nigerians are the best people in the world. But we don't, naturally, but we are not trained. We are not taught. We are not exposed to the right information. We are the best people in the world, but we are not trained. We don't just get satisfied that we are the best. We will get rotten that way. We need to improve on what we have.
And come to think of it, you're right, because most of the performances of Nigerians schooling outside of Nigeria, when they go through these systems.
But they will come back home, they will not find job.
This is the problem. When they go out, their performance in these schools are so excellent.
There is a neurosurgeon, he might be watching us right now, who is based in England. He's reached the pinnacle, the top something in England, living for 35 years. He said, I'm tired. I am already over something. I'm getting to age. I want to let them give me job in my son from Imo State. Let them give me job in my state. He wrote to me. I said, I'm not from your state now. He said, but help me find somebody to write. I've written to my state, to my governor, take me back. I want to leave England. I need help. I want to use my expertise for my people. The guy is still crying in London till today for him to get job.
Same thing with a young man in Germany that is being outsourced by 5 companies, top companies in Germany. He wants to go and make a difference home, and nobody wants to give him the same opportunity. And a whole lot of them in America, you name it, all over the world.
But these are not Indians, and they are not white people. Because convergent thinking in Nigeria, that okay, we have all what we need. Locally, we are okay.
And they keep importing.
What did you want to say today? Oh, you already lost it already. Yeah. Tokwe, I know that, we are making you feel as if, you are. Give him the mic. Let him defend himself.
No, I'm not going to defend myself. I won't defend myself. But I know that.
Just express yourself, yeah.
Yeah, that was what I did earlier.
No, keep on expressing yourself because it's helping us. It's helping us to see how people are thinking back at home.
Yeah. This is why I'm still saying that we have what it takes. Honestly.
To learn.
Not to learn, to do it.
To learn, to do whatever. We can do it. Honestly.
What do we need to do? What do you suggest?
What do we need to do? We need to give people the opportunity to do what they can do.
How do we give them?
I'm not the president. Okay, thank you.
Okay, guys. I haven't been here from the beginning of the thing, so I can't really give a good opinion. But why is it so bad? Why is it so bad for him to say that Nigerians can do it? Didn't Daddy just say the same thing? That if Nigerians are trained, they can have outstanding results? I mean, that's how it is in every country. Last time during the Law and Order HMT, Daddy showed us that in Singapore, which was a very corrupt and third world nation, they had a leader that, was kind of dictator-like because he kept power for a while, but he made systems
and he puts value systems into people. He decided not to be all like, oh, we're the best country, don't need any improvement. He decided to borrow foreign concepts. He decided to make English the official language so that, you know, you could have more opportunities and stuff, to make a better education system, and to make really bad punishments for corruption. And all this took like 3 decades to make Singapore more successful. But after all, Singapore became a pretty successful nation. I mean, of course, there's problems, but if we're talking about quality of life and beauty of country in general. So, of course, it's not like, I mean, we have this in Ukraine too. Lots of people try to be patriotic, and sometimes they're too patriotic to want to talk about problems and stuff. And as like the most corrupt country in Europe, you actually should probably be trying to face problems instead of saying stuff. But that doesn't mean that if people go face those problems and start developing different values in the new generation and just propagating different ideas throughout the country, that doesn't mean that Ukraine still can't have some changes from the state it is in now. So I think the same thing can happen in Nigeria. I mean, I don't think it's like gonna be miraculous, because contrasted with all the things we've learned at this HMT, Nigeria is still really deep in the wrong direction. But especially because more people are being raised up with this knowledge. Even if expats are going to be blocked from government now, that doesn't mean that change can't start from ground up, like it did with Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah, I think we have to all start from ground up, from the future generation.
Thank you, Pierre. Because yeah,
go ahead.
I really appreciate our intelligence. I must.
Able to support you, eh?
Not exactly, but she made sense. Yeah, this is what I'm trying to say, that if we keep thinking in a divergent way, and we expect that it's until we bring in the expert from abroad that we can get things done. This is national complex, and we would never truly be independent, because we have what it takes. And I'm still saying that, and I'll keep saying that. So if we think it's until we bring in the white folks to help us, then that's not true.
What about Nigerians who are?
Nigerians in diaspora.
Okay, it's like many people have many things to say. Don't run away, don't run away. So I understand his sentimentality and his patriotism. It's fine, but remember, each and every problem that you want to solve, you have a short-term solution and a long-term solution.
Okay.
All right, like we learned here by a quote with Frederick Douglass or somebody like that. It is easier to build somebody up from youth than to start fixing a broken man. So this is also the same issue with our nation. That's why now I think most of the consideration should be on building up the younger generation of who will take over in the future. But meanwhile, on the interim, probably something has to be done so that
bring back the Nigerians.
Yes, the Nigerians in diaspora, let them come and, because they have been trained, they have the knowledge, the expertise to
do. You know what he just said now? That's what people told me when I say I'm coming with 2,000 people. They are saying it is discrimination. So what about the ones on the ground? I said I don't trust them because they have not seen what I want to build. The ones that I'm bringing, they have seen with the way things work in other places. They know what I'm seeing in my mind. We're seeing the same thing. They are saying Nigerians will not be happy about that.
No, but they say what of the ones on the ground?
Yes.
They have been on the ground, so what have they done? Because I keep asking my girls a question. I know we can learn from the internet and all that, but can you say confidently that Nigerians that schooled in Nigerian university can actually build a rocket to go to the moon? Can we confidently say that?
Let me give it to that.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Without supervision, no, without supervision from any foreign government or from the internet or from any foreign knowledge, without any foreign knowledge, can we say from what we are getting from our school, forget internet, what you learn from the internet, because internet was not developed by Nigeria. It's a foreign thing, right? It's just that we have access. So we are having access to the answer, not to the process, right? So leave internet out. From the information you are getting from your universities today, can you confidently say that Nigerians will use that information to build a rocket that can go to the moon?
Okay,
Is it on? Is it on?
Yes, it is.
Okay. No, talk now.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't holding it.
No, talk, finish.
You're a Nigerian, right? What's your field of study? Now, I don't want to get personal, but right?
I did engineering, I did physics. Physics, my first degree, engineering, second degree.
Physics and engineering. But he's doing programming now, right?
Yeah, I'm doing
IT. He's in IT now.
And you schooled abroad?
Yeah.
He schooled in Nigeria and then schooled abroad.
I decided to school abroad because I didn't want to continue there.
But now that you've schooled abroad, what's your product? What have you been able to come up with?
Wow.
That's a good question.
Very, very solid.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, that's a good question.
Yes.
That's a good question.
Let me give you the microphone to answer.
I'm sorry. No.
That is a blow. That is a blow under the belt. It's under the belt.
No, I said it's good abroad. That was his product.
Yeah,
because it's comparing the Nigerian press.
That Nigerians in Nigeria don't have product. You two school abroad, write your own product.
It's a good question. It's a good question. Okay, let me answer it this way. I did my first degree, my primary, my secondary, and my first degree in Nigeria. That's how many years? That's 6 years, 6 years, then another 4 years, right? Okay. Now, that's a whole lot of years, and that's the knowledge I got. Now, because I did all that, then I only came here to do a master's for just 1 year. Right. Now, you will know that when I came, the first thing I noticed was that all what I was taught was garbage. Complete garbage. I tell you the truth.
So it's like it's not even on the level.
Sir, it was complete garbage. I know the amount of work I had to put in to even compete. Why? Because people that were coming from their first degree level to do the masters had already done more than what I did in my entire study in Nigeria. So it was like I was standing on a broken leg. The foundation was destroyed initially. These people have been taught from the foundation even how to make things. I'll tell you an experience I had in my final year in Nigeria. A professor, which was the head of the department, walked into our classroom and told somebody like the class captain to compute the GP of the 5 best students. And they computed it and gave it to him. If my student colleagues, they'll verify that. He came back 2 days later to tell us that he has a good news and a bad news. What is the bad news? He said that no matter how good we are, nobody will graduate with a first class. And we said, why? He said, why will you graduate with a first class? That first and foremost, if they give anybody a first class and the person goes to another university abroad, it will do a damage to the name of the school. Why? Because some of us, we have not even seen what a gyroscope is. And we are physics students. Whereas a year one, maybe a college student in overseas, have already worked with a gyroscope. But we have not even seen it. We only read it in textbook.
Just the theory.
You understand? We only read it in textbook. Then number 2, he said it's good in the sense that if they give us like a 2-2 or a 2-1, they will now go abroad and now do an exam and now pass. They'll now feel that, the school must be very good. Oh. If he got a 2-1 or a 2-2 and he came abroad and made a first class, it means it was a challenge for me. I mean, serious challenge, because when I got there, some of the equipment I was seeing, I didn't even know the name. I had to be asking people, please, what is this? And this was what they had worked with, and they were already producing. So it took me at least when you talk of products, right? I worked with a group and we came up with a product, right? If you have ever heard of MKV, Matroska, it's a video interlay, what's it called, technology, whereby this stream for streaming internet videos, right? I worked with my professor to produce that what's it called, that product. You understand? Then there was another product we built. I struggled also. We had to build it with Android from Java ME, mobile edition. And it was what we called a human map, whereby you can identify anybody on the map and instantly call them and all that. Those are some of the small products. But I'm telling you that, like the Bible says, when the foundation is destroyed, what can the righteous do? It's difficult. Now, it will take me years. It will take me years of self-study, sitting down under their tutelage, trying to understand how they even came about it in the first place, to now start to say, I want to really bring a product to. But if you want to reinvent the wheel, it will take forever. That's why DSA is saying that, why not we use the existing technology, bring them, reverse engineering, dismantle what they are built, look at what you understand, and bring it back. But if you say, oh, we have what it is, and you want to do it from scratch, 50 years, you are still dead. And you are talking of somebody who has built, an independent person has built a rocket that can vertically take off and vertically land. How did they do that? It will take years because we don't have the foundation there. The foundation is not there.
Years ago, I think Nigeria wanted to partner with China to go into space. That's Divergent. You understand? Yes. They didn't rely on their own capability. They have to partner with another nation that already have the technology to do that. So it's not like it's a new thing in Nigeria. They have been doing it. Only for some reasons over the years.
To popularize it to come to the grassroots.
You understand? When you even talking about rockets, it's even far-fetched. Toothpick is still being imported into Nigeria from China. While there are woods all over Nigeria. You understand? What does it take to make just mold? No, it's not a joke. Yes. You understand? Everywhere in Nigeria is wood. But still, we import toothpick. We import doors from China into Nigeria. A whole lot of things. So it's not like we are not patriotic. All we are saying here is how to help Nigeria out of the place where we find ourselves in history.
Dundos.
Come and stand.
Yeah, the argument of what as those people that wants to make changes, what have they done, is very weak, and that's an argument that people make all the time. So if they're in a country that's already developed and they're catching up, right? They're still catching up to that extent, right? And
they're talking about people who left home to study abroad.
Yes, or even people that studied, and people who are catching up or even study right from the beginning. There are a lot of factors that you need to consider. And Dr. Sunday already shared, from what he said, that there's a surgeon, a neurological surgeon in England, that is not even given a space in Nigeria. So how then can we have an opportunity with the knowledge gained in those Western countries to go to Nigeria to build those things, at least to get to par in terms of standard? How can we do that if we're not given that opportunity? Expats, they're not talking about white people or white skin. They're talking about people that are black, Nigerians, or they've got Nigerian parents. Those are expats. They are not even allowed or given that opportunity. And you said yourself that even blacks that were raised in Nigeria, that are in Nigeria from the beginning of your, yes, you said that they are not given opportunity. They're not given opportunity. We're not given opportunity to come. So Who have we got to blame?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Secondly,
saying. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Okay, so secondly as well, in those countries that we are in, right, those people are developing us. We are minorities in those countries, okay? He built, yes, we're not their focus. They're also, we're minorities. We're less than 10%. And when I say 10%, I mean the 10% of the general world minorities, different people from different parts of the world, from other continents, that came to that one country or one, 10%, total is 10%. The best thing is expats to go with their skin. They can trust them. They're not taking anything away. They're not taking, they're not white people that are taking anything away from Nigeria and taking it and stealing or taking over. It's not slave period or, back in the days. They are the same people, the same skin. They have parents there or, they're third generation or second generation. So why is it? Why is what is the argument against that? These same people, give them the opportunity. World banks in Nigeria. Why are we still going to banks in Nigeria and there's chaos? Why are we going to banks in Nigeria and they're treating you badly? Or there's somebody telling you, move to this side, don't do this. When these same people at the top, they have been to banks in England, they've been to banks in America, there's order. And they're not even saying, okay, my friend, go to a bank in England or something and you see a black girl and you find out that this is Nigerian. Why can't they propose to give that person a better, a job? I'll give you an apartment, I'll give you a job, let's try for 6 months. Companies that have done that, check those companies out. They are doing great in Nigeria, but it's a handful. There's only a few of them. There is no, I want to hear your arguments against this, but it's very weak to point fingers when in any argument that, oh, what have you done? When you yourself, seeing the whole world, you said there's access to internet, there's nothing stopping people that are in Nigeria from accessing the internet in Nigeria to see how other people are doing things. But yet, you are in Nigeria, you said there's nothing stopping anybody, and there's no changes. The product, you know them by their product. The product is not changing. The product hasn't changed. Let's say even in the last 30 years, product hasn't changed. It's still the same. Examples, toothpick, even oil that they said that they have. What have they done with it? Other people are, there is no argument here, Tope. It's not about patriotism. If you're really patriot, you have to be honest with that country. It's about love. When you love somebody, that's when you tell them off. That's when they do something, you tell them off. Don't defend blindly, like, okay, I'm going to do this.
My argument, what I'm trying to say, well, if you listen carefully when I started out, I said it's about equity, that people have what it takes.
No, they don't. How do they have what it takes if they have never been taught? If we're saying that...
Well, you just cited people all across the globe, all Nigerians across the globe doing
because they were taught
well
across the globe. They were not taught in Nigeria. So we're talking about the Nigerians in Nigeria. How do they have what it takes when they've never been taught? Example, they're still using the same literature. They're using the same handouts from years that he was studying. They don't. They don't even know what they don't know, but they're not willing to admit. They don't have. Let's take this away. They don't have what it takes. What is their argument? They don't. They cannot compete in the world class. They can compete among the Nigerians on a par that is not even up to anything. But they cannot compete in the world class with other people in the world, select them in the same field to compete. No, we have a few geniuses that are not even given opportunities. So how do they have what it takes? You mean that if it was developed in them, they'll be able to? We don't know that until we actually develop it in them. And they have to get people to come and develop that in them. If you think that you know, how are you going to learn? Dr. Sunday says that. If you think you already know something, you are not going to allow somebody else to teach you. You would just say, oh, I know what it takes. You're not going to learn. So the mentality that they have what it takes, they don't. They first need to admit that they don't have what it takes. I think it's Socrates that says that I know that I am not intelligent. I think there's a quote. I know that I don't know. That is one person. It's a philosophy that is considered to be one of the most intelligent, a Greek philosopher. In order for you to acquire knowledge, you have to admit to yourself that you know that you don't know. If Nigerians continue to say that they know, let us see the fruit of that knowledge. Let's see it. If we see the fruit of that knowledge, then we would also say that you know. What are the inventions in Nigeria up to today? What are the resources that have been used, that are in Nigeria, that have been used to create anything? In what way are they manufacturing anything from Nigeria that even five countries in the world are using? What is coming out of Nigeria? You know, the whole of Nigeria can be wiped out, right, in Nigeria, and nobody is going to miss Nigeria. There's no product that they will miss. You wipe out China and see how we will suffer. Do you understand? Every single person. Wipe out Germany and see how we are going to suffer. So, you know, you have to first admit, I know that I don't know. You know, that Nigeria needs to learn to know that they do not know. And when they know that they don't know, then they would now start stepping forward to say, okay, I don't know. Who is going to teach me? Who is there? Who is available? Who are the people that are there? That's how we're going to progress. We don't forget patriotism. You're not patriot. You're just digging our grave.
Now, if Nigeria was wiped out, we wouldn't be having this conversation. She won't be able to make
No, I will not be in Nigeria.
She's just saying in terms of products.
But I'm not even in Nigeria. Let's be honest. I'm outside of Nigeria. Nigeria will be wiped out now in Nigeria. Who in the world will miss Nigeria for what? For what reason? For what product? Are we going to have scarcity of anything? Oh, we are going to have scarcity of beef with the henchman? No. We're going to have scarcity of what? Cars? No. Okay. Shoes? No. What we have? What?
The question he asked me, I'm supposed to be asking that question because I'm not the one saying that we have what it takes. He's the one saying
think about it.
So I'm not supposed to be asking me. I'm supposed to be asking you.
Yeah, we're not even.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
This guy.
Even coffee, even Colombia.
No, I won't make a point now.
They are loving it on the Facebook page.
They're loving it.
They are loving it. So go ahead.
Because some people are supporting you there too.
They're supporting me. I wish.
No.
So your people are telling you,
Nigerians are watching that because they don't have internet.
Well, I would like to have this type of debate with Nigerians, and I even want to have this debate with anybody. Come with it. You know, you have to tell me. Let us see what's happening. You know, yes. If there's somebody watching or is going to watch later in Nigeria or anywhere, and you think that I am wrong, let us have 5 people from the diversity to come down and we debate on this matter. And let us see, if you do, let us know if there's people there or there's an area of Nigeria that is doing something for the world or is doing something even for Nigeria that Nigeria will miss. Let us know so that then we can give them the accolade that they deserve. But if they don't, what did he do? You know,
he wrote books.
I want to know, is there anything else I'm missing? You know, they don't know values, no products, no services, nothing. What is it? Is it because you're just Nigerian? I don't know. You know,
Yeah, exactly. She's got some points really, so I can't confute some of her notions. I can't confute some of the notion I can't confute everything. But but you can't just belittle. Now I'm not being sentimental, but
you admit that you are.
You can't just belittle a nation of about 200 million people and believe that if that nation was effaced from the face of the earth, it would have amounted to nothing. I don't want to believe that.
Okay.
Seriously, I don't want to believe that Nigeria is of no significance. It might not be up to the level which we all expect, but to say that if Nigeria was scraped or erased or effaced from the face of the earth, nobody would have missed anything. To talk of the rich culture, to talk of, why are you staring at me so hard? Yeah, I'm trying hard to make the point. That's because our points were quite overwhelming. I can't deny that. So, to talk of the rich culture, to talk of
No.
Let him say. I think he has something here.
No, can you give me a break so that I can be more
So
articulate?
can I respond to some of the things? He wants a break.
Dr. Sunday, please, I need a break.
Okay, I want to respond. First of all, okay, finish.
You say what
Okay, first of all, you're talking now. You say you're not sentimental. I don't want to say you are or not, but consider you might be.
Okay.
You know, it's not about being patriotic. I have got 100% blood of Nigerian in me, but I need to be honest of what is happening, okay? So that we can move forward and we can develop. Number one, the numbers of people, you mentioned numbers of people. That number is no value, okay? There is no value in that numbers. It's like, you know, this is the same mentality where people think that they have the number in the churches make that church a good church. Excuse me, it doesn't make it a good church. It just makes it a church that have amassed people that, you know, they don't have enough. You know, they said, you know, if you want to any argument, or we have a lot of followers, we had a lot of people, that is not an argument in any case.
And to confirm what you are saying, I even had the minister of sports flew to Moscow to talk to footballers. And you know the point he was making? You have to do well. You've got to get to semi-final or something, go to where we've never gone, because 200 million people are waiting and expecting your victory.
Yeah, what does that mean?
If you don't have the skills, you don't have the expertise, what does that mean? Oh, you have to win Argentina because it's the hope of two. What does that mean? If you don't have the expertise, you don't have what it takes. I don't care if 1 billion people are waiting. You will still lose.
And that's why
He flew.
Yeah.
That is the only motivation. You know, it's a nation of 200 million people. It's a nation of 160. That is the only motivation. But that is not producing anything. That 200 million people is not. How is it affecting me? You just know a number. That's nothing. Especially if they are not producing anything.
And even in that, it lacks substance. You know, it's not at the point where they want to play that you're talking to a footballer that this is what you need to do in order to get. That argument doesn't hold water, first of all. And the training needs to be prior to the time. And it's the same thing also. Numbers does not hold anything. If you have two that is producing the greatest, is more than 1 million that is not producing. In the world today, we have 2 to 5% of the population that are producing. What are the rest of us doing? In Nigeria, it's even much lesser than that. So let's just get to the point where we are realizing ourselves. Look at ourselves in the mirror. Realize that we're not good, and there are ways that we can be good. You know, there are processes that are out there. Let's go and look for that processes. Even now, when you want to say, it's painful. I understand. It's like saying if your family was wiped out, nobody is going to miss your family. Do you understand? That's what it sounds like. And it even sounds like that to me as well, but that is the truth. I wouldn't like anybody to say if my family was wiped out, nobody would miss my family. It might be true, but I don't want to hear it. But let's be honest so that we can move forward. You know, when you are asked to name a few things, culture of what? Culture to what? To what culture? And the other thing about Nigerian culture, it doesn't. And the other thing about the culture is that they are actually copying other people in that area. Do you understand? They want to copy Americans. They're not authentic in that area. They want to copy other people. So even that culture, they don't even embrace it themselves. And they're not doing anything with culture. In what way? Traditions that doesn't help, that just help the few, they hold on to it. You know, what is their culture? What is Nigerian culture that we want to look at here? They're dancing. Who's it doing for? They don't even lose weight with their dancing. That dancing is not even for the right, body part. Okay, what else? I want to think of something. I want to think of something myself that Nigeria is doing that it will be missed. Okay, they rejoice after any victory. They're happy people. What is their happy people doing for the world? It's not curing depression. Their happiness, they can't even put in their apps for people to use. You know, they can't put the joy and they don't. It's just zero. It is zero. And even I'm not proud to say this, I'm just saying it. Maybe I definitely, it's not maybe, I definitely need to work on it and challenge other people, challenge those that I can challenge. But I am not going to say that I know anything. Nigeria don't know anything, and they need to know that they don't know so that they can move forward. I know that I don't know. And even at the stage that I know that I don't know, I can still do some things. But if you're not given a chance in Nigeria, they're not given a chance for the people that are abroad to come and help them, then where do we need to go?
Okay. The reverse question now.
Okay.
Right? You said if Nigeria was wiped out, what would the world miss?
Yes.
And we're struggling to find what we miss. Okay, let me just ask you a question. Not the whole of America now. Just wipe out 2 products from America, Microsoft and Apple, and tell me what the world will miss.
Just wipe out Google. What's going to happen?
Is that a rhetorical question or?
No. I'm asking a question. What would the world miss if you wipe out Microsoft? Okay, let's make it clear. Microsoft, Apple, and Google.
Okay.
Where would that leave the world?
Back to the Stone Age, maybe.
You see, very simple, and it's not the whole country now. We are talking of just 3 people. 3 people. You wipe 3 people from the face of the earth, the whole earth shakes. But you wipe entire population of 200 million, and you are struggling to find out what the world is.
It reduces the problem.
You understand where we're coming from?
Yes, it reduces the problem of society right now. Nigeria is now the country with the highest yes. So of course, if you wipe them off of the earth, actually make the statistics look better because they are part of the problem. No, don't even let us think about wiping out. We are at the mercy of Google. If Google says that I do not want my Google in Nigeria, let me tell you, breakdown. Even the Uber that we're talking about is not going to happen. Uber in Nigeria and the other taxes that you're getting, no, it's not going to happen. Microsoft, and if Microsoft says something, I don't want my server, I'm not putting anything, problem. And they're not even wiped out. It's just one man speaks and says this, that I don't want to do business with Nigeria, I don't trust them, wiped out. And even now, there's still problems like that. If you want to sell certain products in Nigeria and they are imported from England, I know that for sure, in consultation with clients, they would tell me that the companies, for example, Kellogg's would say that they don't want their product in Nigeria to just be distributed because they don't trust Nigerians, they don't trust the government to make sure that everything is stored well. They are places like KFC, they're constantly having challenges with Nigerians. They would say that the product that Nigerians are serving, the Nigerians are not ordering what they're supposed to order from them as a franchise. They're producing their own and watering their brand and reducing the quality of their brand. That challenge is in Nigeria. You might not know it. You might just go into KFC. That is a problem. Other franchises don't want to have anything to do with Nigerians. They think that the government don't hold them responsible, and the people as well. They don't do things the right way. That's just franchise. And these are people that they're going to get business from 200 million people. They say, no, our brand name, our reputation is important. We don't want to come to Nigeria. McDonald's, the same thing. Why do you wonder why McDonald's is not in Nigeria? There are 200 million people to serve. They're not there. So we have to say that we know that we don't know. And even if McDonald's don't want to come, can we have a similar McDonald's in Nigeria? Where is it? Where is it? Even Starbucks. Where is Starbucks in Nigeria? They are desperate for money. They go to every crooks and corners of the world. What's happening? They have Nigerian staff in Nigeria. They lower their standard. Their standard automatically reduce.
Okay, I'm going to say that I will hone up to the fact that I failed to to reel out the points and the good things that Nigeria has been able to do. But I believe that I will look back someday on this video and see a better Nigeria and see that things have changed significantly. And that I wasn't just shut up because you had so many points, but that Nigeria has gotten to the place where she has become self-sufficient and can compete with the best countries of the world or nations of the world.
Can I ask a close question?
Why are you asking him?
Okay, I'm out. I'm out.
Don't ask. Thank you so much. I believe this is exactly where we want Nigeria to be from. At the point where Nigeria will be able to humble herself and own up to the fact that she needs help, and that this help is available for us all. Because even in the Word of God, there is a verse, I think it's in 2 Corinthians, 2 Chronicles 7 verse 14 that says, if my people who are called by my name should humble themselves, and then I will come, repent of their sins, and then come to me, then I will heal their land. I will give them life. And this is that time for Nigeria to accept that she needs help. And the help will come to Nigeria because the help is out there. DSA is for that help. That's why we want to bring DSA to Nigeria to help rectify all this problem and begin the process of healing our nation. The new generation is crying. Nigeria is crying. The whole land is crying. Thank you so much.
On that note, very good note. On that note, I think we can finish our HMT and thank you to all participants of this HMT. Thank you to all participants of the debate and the argument. Thank you so much, everybody.